Hello and welcome to World Wednesdays with the Public Library. My name is Fritha and I perform professionally as Fritha of Kahraman, and I also teach the dances of the Near East. Would you join me today for a journey to Egypt? We're going to learn about some of the regional dances. I'll dance a little with you, and we'll also get to see some lovely dresses from Egypt. First, I'd like to show you a map of Egypt. Egypt is in North Africa, and as you can see, there's the Mediterranean on the top and the Red Sea over here on the side. And each area of Egypt, from the Siwa Oasis over to the Suez Canal and down along the Nile, has a different regional dance and different people who celebrate parties and celebrations in different ways. Music and dance has been part of Egypt's history for many, many years. As you might know, the pyramids are in Egypt and the Sphinx. As you look at the papyrus, you'll see many beautiful images of the people of ancient times. Musical instruments and symbology go throughout Egypt's history. As we move into more modern times and able to look at postcards and images from Egypt, you'll see the dress in Egypt can vary from location to location. You'll see that people still carry water and work the water in the wells and the irrigation canals. You'll also see that the instruments are different. This is a photo from the Suez Canal area, and that is a very specific instrument to that area of Egypt. As we move into modern times, we see the history of the dance and the history of the people. If you were in Alexandria in a certain area, in a certain era, you would see the ladies covering with a large black shawl. You would also see the traditional face coverings. They've of course fallen out of fashion, but right now we're wearing face coverings too. Here you'll also see the beautiful farm woman wearing a traditional dress and then also carrying a basket on her head. Very tall, very elegant, and very balanced. So, now that you've seen a little bit of the images of Egypt, let's get up and dance. I'm going to start with a warm-up to get your muscles ready to dance, and then we'll do some hand and arm movements, and we'll talk about dancing and party dancing in Egypt. So now, let's stand up and I'll put some music on. Check out your space and make sure you have enough space to move. Make sure you've got a good space where you won't hit anything. I'm going to start with my shoulders and I'm going to make big circles. Take one arm up and I'm going to reach for the ceiling and the floor and the other side. Good. And I'm going to shake out my arms and my shoulders. I'm going to shake out my legs and my knees. I'm going to take energy and throw it into the ground. Now with your knees, you can see my knees are going to go forward and back, but I'm going to stay tall like I've got a water jug or a basket balanced on my head. Yeah. Good. And then let's start with our hands. Shake them out. I'm going to take two imaginary threads and I'm going to grab them with my middle finger and my thumb and pull them across. So taking your hands, grab and pull. looking at the beauty that is your hands. Good. Now I'm going to roll one shoulder and then the other. And then I'm going to let my arms come out. And you'll notice that my shoulder is leading my elbow, kind of like an undulation or a snake-like movement. Good, and you can bring your hands together. Good. Now I hear the music calling me, and so improvisationally I'm going to start to dance with my shoulder. My shoulder's going to come up a little bit. Good. Is your shoulder moving? Can you see it? And how about the other one? Good. If I was dancing with guys, they might move both shoulders. Good. And you can step on one leg. Alternate. Good. So I'm going to bring us back to our hands as if they were a willow tree in the breeze. Floating on the breeze like the flute, hearing the towards me. Good. And gathering up. And snaking out. Good. Another movement that's common in the Near East is to move the heart. So I'm going to have a little heart shimmy. Pushing your shoulders forward and back. Feeling your heart, and a little bit faster. Swaying side to side. Good. Another movement that's common is for the hip to move. So bounce your hip. And your other hip. Good. Now that you're warmed up, let's find some music that is with a culture from Egypt. So in southern Egypt, it is close to Sudan, and the area is known as Nubia. And in Nubia, the women will wear big dresses that beautifully cover their legs and their arms. And they'll also wear head coverings called tarha. And as you can see, the dress would cover, and also the tarha would cover. I'm going to dance with you a little bit, some of the movement from Nubia. Let's get the music. Take your arms and do a little. Good. And you take your arms out in a little diagonal like an airplane. And turn around. And the other side. Good. And a little bit more at the arms. shoulders. Take it off, you can see the arms. And little shoulders. Good, and a little step, clap. Your hands up like you're doing a basket. Good. A little bit more dancing. Dance around in your own circle. Good. All right, let's take a moment and switch and head north in Egypt. As we head north up the Nile, we will come to the area, which is a pretty big area known as the Said, and there are a few different cultures that live there. As we're learning about the different cultures, it's nice to note everyone dances differently and does lots of improvisation. Here is some music from the Said. You hear the drums and the rhythm is a little different. It's a Saidi rhythm and it goes doom, doom, doom. Take your hand, put it on your heart, and hear the rhythm with me. Doom, doom, doom. Kind of like a heartbeat. Good. Now, a lot of the dances and a lot of what we know about Egypt comes from people studying dance in Egypt. And you'll notice that many of the people in Egypt wear head coverings, and that is their tradition. So I'm going to cover my hair. And I'm going to get a scarf for my head. If I had gotten done with my chores at home and I was dancing in the home, many Egyptian women dance in the home, there would be a little decoration and a little dancing, bouncing the head. Yeah, good. And your other hip? Good, and little arms. If you were party dancing, you might clap both hands in, saying, come here. You might send them both out. Go away. And then a little bit more, we might do little windshield wipers. Good, good. Let's switch to our next dance style. And this is as we head further north in Egypt. This is by the Suez Canal, and it's the movement inspired by the music and the different cultures that came together in Egypt to build the Suez Canal. So I'm going to take my feet and I'm going to do a little toe and heel. going to put my foot in front and my foot in back. Can you hop it? Good, good. All right, moving on. Let's pause that. We're going to also look at the dress for the delta, and that is the farming area. Now, as you can see, as I bring this dress in close, this dress is very beautiful and has very fine beadwork on the neck. This dress is from Egypt, and this is a dress that they would actually wear. This dress here is a dress for stage, and many of the dances that we learned are performed on stage, showing the beauty of how much opulence the culture believes in and how much fabric they can play and dress with. Isn't that beautiful with the swish? Good. And of course, they would also wear a form of head covering. Does that dress look familiar? It's similar to the one I showed you earlier. Here we go. Very similar if you compare this dress with that dress and the head covering over her hair. Beautiful. So I'm going to put the music back on. Let's do our last dance. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful day and that you enjoy all of your dancing today.